Continuing from the previous episode 1930. The latest website, Wang Om. The entire sky was flickering with an incomparably evil and hot breath, and immediately the entire demon suppression prison, countless evil spirits were purified, and vaguely the evil power of this demon-suppressing prison disappeared quickly. Strange, how come most of the evil creatures in this town demon prison are missing? What the asterisk is going on here? Behind a quiet rock, a figure muttered slightly. With her powerful perception and extreme disgust for evil, this perception could not go wrong. But, what the asterisk is going on here? Forget it. I didn't expect the two white kings to escape. It was a miscalculation, but these guys can't be let go. The descendants of the Shao clan, the reincarnation of the king of beasts, the demon of light, the black evil dragon and wolf, it seems to be a great harvest. The light voice fell, and suddenly the white wings behind it waved gently, an incomparable streak. The divine aura slowly formed a huge cage, quietly approaching Xiao Yan and the others. The strength of this handsome figure is not bad. The silver-white armor on his body outlines his enchanting figure, and even a pair of white rain boots under his feet invisibly exudes an extremely sacred atmosphere. An extremely soft intimacy arises spontaneously, but in his unwavering eyes, there is a trace of fanaticism, and even on his clean face, there is a touch of contempt. That is contempt for all things in the world. Damn. Actually let them run away. Seeing the two White King powerhouses escape easily now, Xiao Yan frowned and lost his voice. Hey, it's better to go. The Heishan Longling shook his head slowly, but even if the two White Kings left here, their brows were still furrowed, and it seemed that even greater challenges awaited them. The two White Kings have escaped from the seal of the demon suppression prison, and now I am afraid they are facing the deeper demon suppression prison. There is a Red King there. After a while, the Heishan Longling spoke softly, his voice filled with a hint of deep fear. The Red King? Xiao Yan muttered. That Red King, even among the powerhouses of the evil race from outside the realm, is strong enough to rank in the top 10. It's a real reincarnation. Looking at the entire demon world, apart from the old monsters in the center of the demon world, I am afraid that only the Master can defeat them. And now that the Master has been sealed, once the Red King breaks his madness, with the power of the demon world that we are fighting each other, I am afraid that the demon world will be destroyed by the wrath of the Red King. Heishan Longling continued to speak. The Red King, is it very strong? Xiao Yan's eyes shrank tightly. He could smell a very dignified oppression from the mouths of such powerful men as Heishan Longling. Very strong. With a Red King, I'm afraid it is enough to sweep the entire demon world today. Because even among the foreign evil races, the number of Red Kings is probably the number of hands. Heishan Longling muttered. In that case, let's go. The break of the Demon Emperor is imminent. Xiao Yan stroked the flame beast gently with his palm. It seemed that with the departure of the two kings, it was also turning into a dissimilar one, quietly staying by Xiao Yan's side, but now it has aura in its body. Quite weak, obviously the battle of that level just now consumed a lot of its strength. I'm afraid, things are not so simple. At this moment, the Demon of Light slowly shook his head, his beautiful eyes filled with deep meaning and intriguing. Do you know why I didn't pick you up when you entered the demon realm? Heishan Longling looked at the sky, a trace of light flashing, but he was powerless. Because at that time, I went to save the demon mistress of light. And in the following time, we were all avoiding the pursuit of a madman. Speaking of this, countless rays of light suddenly appeared in the entire sky. Those rays of light were like the light of dawn, sacred and gentle, and they slowly emerging from the horizon, it immediately converged to the sky, forming a tens of thousands of meters of light cages. Without any warning, Xiao Yan was directly imprisoned to death, unable to move at all, as if they were bound to the same place by a gentle light. Angel. Seeing this familiar aura, Xiao Yan's eyes suddenly shrank in unison, and he said vigilantly. At this moment, the countless questions that plagued Xiao Yan were also easily resolved. Ow! In an instant, the flaming beast was like a great enemy, and the beast's eyes were staring at the end of the light's imprisonment, where there was a beautiful figure that was above all things, emerging slightly. This time, I'm afraid disaster is imminent. Wan Yaowing has always stood beside the Heishan Dragon Wolf, and now he understands this irresistible light cage and the shock in everyone's heart. I am an angel. It is the messenger who maintains justice in the world. The 5 of you have been included in the wanted list of my angels list, so let's catch them. The high-pitched Sanskrit voice came out from there to Qianying, and immediately there was not much evil aura left in the entire town demon prison. Disappeared in an instant. This *** angel. Seeing this, Xiao Yan couldn't help roaring with a pale face. With Xiao Yan's strength, even crushing the devil's cube, I am afraid it cannot shake this angel. Because Xiao Yan clearly saw the angel wings behind him, not 2 wings, but 4 wings. The 4 wings represent that this angel is a reincarnation-level powerhouse, and must be an angel who has survived the reincarnation. Among the Holy See, there are very few strong people who can have angel wings. Angel wings are not only a symbol of status, but also a manifestation of honor and strength. Wingless angel, this is already considered to be the backbone of the Holy See, responsible for many daily affairs. One-winged angels have been able to serve as the foundation of the Holy See, and they handle many important affairs of the Holy See. 2-winged angels, their strength is basically below the perfection of the 8-star Do Xian, but their power and status, even in the entire Daqin world, are quite famous. The 3-winged angel, who stepped into reincarnation, but did not survive the reincarnation calamity, is the power treasured in the Holy See. 4-winged angels, it is said that there are only a few people in the entire Holy See. Their strength has entered the cycle of reincarnation and has passed through the tribulation of reincarnation. They are the real messengers of God. As for the *** of 5-winged angels and 10-winged angels above, I am afraid they have only appeared in the records. Of course, that level is already a matter within the kingdom of angels, which is like the overlord of the Great Thousand World. Those who know the whole Great Thousand World probably very few. Damn. UU reading link to www.ukanshu.com. Things still exceeded expectations. Looking at the 4-winged angel in front of him, Xiao Yan's blood boiled, and the clan lines between his eyebrows flashed with dazzling power, as if facing in front of him. The 4-winged angel is calling for something, but the power of the 2 is too disparate, so there is no change. After a while, the demon blood in Xiao Yan's body slowly woke up as if he had encountered hot and delicious food, and a monstrous force of evil intent slowly filled and spread. At this moment, the sky and the earth changed color, and countless sacred arcs of hot light flashed in the sky. They carried indescribable power and imprisoned the every move of Xiao Yan and the 5 people. In a moment, 4-winged angel, the power of reincarnation, so terrifying. This is the angel who inherits the power of God and travels the world as the messenger of God. They are arrogant and arrogant, pure and pure, and there is no place for any evil and filth in their eyes. They are the messengers of God, maintaining the so-called order of the great world. Continuing from the previous episode 1931. The latest website, 4-winged angel, why are you here? At this moment, Xiao Yan's tone was arrogant and he spoke coldly, and his voice already contained monstrous anger. Combined with the indifferent attitude of the angel just now, Xiao Yan had already vaguely guessed the scars on the back of the black dragon wolf and the demon of light. Now, suppressing the extremely angry anger in his heart, he said word by word. I came here naturally to investigate the demon of light's betrayal of the Holy See. At this moment, the 4-winged angel said with great interest, and there was a rare joke in his voice, as if the few people in front of him were just chickens. The power of the ants is like an ant, and there is no prestige to himself. Xiao Yan, I'll give you the coordinates of the Master Seal in a while. There are restrictions there, and even those who are reincarnated can't approach without specific coordinates. After you leave here, go there as soon as possible to see if you can help the Master to break through. Seal up. This king is relying on his last breath, and I will definitely want to protect her and wait. You guys should seize that last chance. Seeing Xiao Yan still trying to argue something, the black evil dragon wolf stood up, gave Xiao Yan a not-so-friendly smile, and said coldly. The monstrous killing intent and the few remaining demon chi rose into the sky, and the demon pill in the body was shaking violently, as if it would explode completely at any time. Obviously, this guy has the consciousness of fighting for his life, otherwise, with their strength, it is absolutely impossible to be the opponent of the 4-winged angel. An ant is an ant. No matter how much useless you do, it's just futile. Seeing the appearance of the Heisha dragon wolf, the 4-winged angel sneered slightly. It seems that the oppression and torture along the way have not yet made the Heishan Longling recognize the gap between him and himself, so let him completely obliterate their beliefs in this demon town prison, or take them back to the Holy See, in the final judgment. I'll ask you a question. What is an angel? Seeing the Heisha dragon wolf act like this, Xiao Yan's eyes burst red, his body jumped tightly, a breath of awe permeated, and he couldn't help roaring at the unattainable four-winged angel. One sentence. Angels, messengers of God. It is an executor who follows God's will and walks in the great world. We maintain the order that the world should have. Demons and traitors like you must use the most extreme judgment. This is the angel. The four-winged angel looked at Xiao Yan's extremely angry but helpless roar, and there was a touch of joy on his face, and he seemed to be enjoying himself. With a touch of power over everything. That is the power of reincarnation. And it still contains the reincarnation of the power of angels. With such a simple finger, I am afraid that the 5 of them will be destroyed. Ha ha ha. It turns out that this is the angel who is admired by thousands of people in the world's human population. In the end, it's just a group of animals in human skins. It's not even better than a beast. Xiao Yan's hideous roar was vented. There was a sense of disappointment in that voice. At the same time, in his body, there was a vast and evil energy as profound as the ocean. Slowly restless, and will break out of the body at any time. Xiao Yan, stop! Seeing Xiao Yan's strange appearance, the Heisha dragon wolf couldn't help holding him with one hand, and a trace of demonic energy diffused out of his body, maintaining Xiao Yan's last sense of reason. But we'll all die here. Xiao Yan's eyes were piercing, with a hint of dark green aura on his body, and the evil hair spread, and he said coldly. Although I don't know the secrets in your body, the Shao clan are the giants of the world. Even if they disappear now, their prestige still exists, and many allies are still secretly protecting you. The power is completely released, and she can use this as a threat to completely wipe out the last group of strong people who maintain your Shao clan. I believe you don't want to see that kind of situation, Heishan Longling said still, his voice full of pleading. But, hearing this, the demonic power in Xiao Yan's body was suppressed and dissipated in an instant, and his eyes couldn't help but become dignified. Xiao Yan knew the seriousness of the words Heishan Longling said, but now facing this situation, without the support of demons, I am afraid that the current situation is a real death and no life. Even if you are a descendant of the Shao family, disobeying the angels so much is a death penalty. So let's fall together. Seeing the demonic power in Xiao Yan's body flashing away, the four-winged angel spoke slowly, and then raised his slender fingers gently. Pointed at Xiao Yan and the others who were already bound by the cage of light. The purpose of doing this is naturally to force Xiao Yan to reveal that demonic power. In that case, I would have conclusive evidence to judge Xiao Yan. Otherwise, even with the prestige of his own four-winged angel, he would not be able to judge a descendant of the Shao tribe who was protected by several big men. Peng Tong. With a sound, Xiao Yan's whole body was suddenly entangled by an unknown force, and Xiao Yan just felt that at this time, whether it was his body or the soul power in his body, it was as if it was completely locked by something, unable to move, even breathing has become slow. Since that's the case, then, at this moment, seeing the giant light of the annihilating finger flashing, the power in Xiao Yan's body surged out again. The price of doing this is indeed too much, but if he falls, then everything is in vain. Ooh! The flame beasts sent out a profound power within their body, as if they wanted to protect Xiao Yan, but no matter how huge the power it volatilized, it still lacked a vital thing to let its power under the cycle. Hoo! After the breath, all the power of the flame beast was instantly submerged under the giant finger of light, and its eyes drooped slightly. It was obviously working hard, but now it still can't help Xiao Yan. There was a deep self-blame in the tiger's eyes. You have worked hard. Next, leave it to me. An extremely arrogant evil emerged, and Xiao Yan's entire body seemed to be slowly transforming, moving towards another person, with a touch of evil in his hand. The ultimate demon cube emerged. That's the power of the devil? Is this guy finally willing to be fooled? Although I don't know why you have demon power in your body, but it's enough. Looking at this scene, the eyes of the four-winged angel suddenly flashed an incomparably fanatical smile. Do not want. You still have a long way to go. I'll leave the matter of the demon emperor to you. Remember to say sorry to him for me." Suddenly, a soft voice sounded, and the demon power in Xiaoyan's body was suppressed by a soft light. For a time, behind the demon of light, a pair of *** angel wings flickered and waved, and there were signs of collapse. At this time, the power contained in the angel wings turned out to be it made the four-winged angel's pupils shrink tightly. A bad feeling swept through my heart. Continuing from the previous episode 1932. Latest URL. Beast. What are you doing? Looking at the dazzling brilliance behind the demon of light, even with the power of her four-winged angel, she felt a throbbing heartbeat, and she couldn't help but contained a hint of anger in her beautiful eyes. Opened his mouth. That kind of power is the unique source power of angels. It ignores the difference in strength and has extremely tyrannical lethality. If it is displayed by it, even oneself will have to temporarily avoid the edge. What am I going to do? Aren't you clear? Watching the four-winged angel turn so arrogant from the arrogant appearance just now, a touch of warmth pervaded the cheeks of the demon of light, and the ** angel's wings slowly shook, a touch of indescribable nobility. Released, and even under the always gentle face, there is a touch of crazy fluctuations. The source of angels. Angel wings. At such a critical juncture, the demon of light has been unable to care about his own life and death after this blow, because only by sending Xiaoyan and others out can the current situation be resolved and there is hope of helping the demon emperor. And angel wings. This is the last killer of the demon of light. Xiaoyan's body's demon power was suppressed, and then he stared blankly at the demon of light, speechless for a while. Once he uses the power of the devil, I am afraid that there is no room for maneuver with the Holy See, and even if he uses the power of the devil, with Xiaoyan's current power, he cannot kill the four-winged angel who has stepped into the cycle of reincarnation. In fact, I am afraid that the great powers behind him who are protecting him will also be impeached by the Holy See. At that time, I am afraid it will be difficult to recover the real water. Hey, mistress. At this moment, Heishan Longling couldn't help but clenched his fists tightly and rebuked himself. Unexpectedly, the situation he didn't want to see happened. You need to take Xiaoyan to the sealed land, where only you know the coordinates. And Xiaoyan is carrying a strange treasure, which is the key to unlocking the seal. The seal of the demon emperor is up to you. Don't worry, she and I belong to the Holy See, even she can't really kill me. The soft voice slowly reached the ears of Xiaoyan and the two of them, and the four of them were immediately wrapped in a touch of holy light, isolating the four wings. The angels attack, and at the end of the sentence, a trace of self-confidence proudly emerged from the mouth of the demon of light. That is definitely not pride or polite and false words, but the demon of light does have that strength and confidence, because they are both angels. Even four-winged angels cannot unilaterally make a final judgment on themselves. This is the reliance of the demon of light. And the giant finger of light displayed by the four-winged angel was swallowed up by the ** wings of the demon of light after touching it, and thus dissipated easily. The giant finger of light blessed with the power of reincarnation and the power of angels is actually submerged in the wings of the angel? But looking closely, on the ** angel's wings, a faint flame is slowly beating. The terrifying power and sacred aura contained in that flame is beyond all things, and it is no longer comparable to a four-winged angel. Liu Yun, you are courting death. Looking at this scene, the contempt and ridicule slowly disappeared from the beautiful eyes of the four-winged angel, and a rare killing intent, accompanied by countless holy lights, turned into countless Sanskrit sounds echoing in the between this world. Angel wings are the most powerful weapon that angels give us to maintain order, but they are not for you to use them to do things. The demon of light smiled sweetly, and then the angel wings behind him. The ** white feathers fell off the wings, an extremely terrifying angelic force swept out. In an instant, in the entire empty demon suppression prison, the void trembled, and scenes of extremely terrifying distortions swept out. Liu Yun, are you crazy? Self-exploding angel wings, even you, I'm afraid there will be irreversible scars. The four-winged angel's eyes were full of anger, staring at Liu Yun, the demon of light, and said coldly. For them, angel wings are more important than their own lives. The self-destructing angel wings can indeed burst out extremely terrifying power in a short time, but they will leave the angel class and suffer a lot of damage. In addition to endangering their lives, otherwise no angel would do this. You forced it all. Bloom, Angel Wings. A high-pitched light voice, accompanied by a sacred air, suddenly burst out from the demon of light, and in an instant, the energy in the entire demon suppression prison suddenly quieted down. In the sky, Liu Yun's figure swayed with the wind, her strength, her breath, and even her vitality all became wilted in an instant, and then the *** angel wings changed strangely under her roar. The blood-colored feathers fell off quietly, and each blood-colored feather contained a terrifying power that could destroy the world. They slowly fell off the angel's wings. At the moment of falling off, a heart-piercing pain spread throughout the body. Gave Liu Yun the kind of terrible pain that pierced into the bone marrow and penetrated into the soul, but Liu Yun's mouth still showed a warm smile that was quite soft and kind. It seems that all this is irrelevant to her, because from the beginning to the end, she only wants to protect Xiaoyan and a few people, and to make up for the mistakes she let go before. This is what an angel should look like. Following Liu Yun's actions, the entire sky, a scene of holy burning bright flames fell off and gathered from countless ** angel feathers, and there was a noble aura that could be learned from the world. You are still obsessed with it now, and you really insulted our angel. If that's the case, then I won't waste time with you. With the power of my four-winged angel, I call on the breath of light to wash away all dirt and evil. Maintain the order and light of the world. Small purification technique. The magnificent voice was like the wrath of the gods above the 9 heavens, and the endless divine power leaned out from the angel's wings behind the four-winged angel, completely shrouding this shattered demon suppression prison. That kind of Sanskrit sound is enough to completely imprison the human soul and pull it into the magnificent temple for judgment. Surrounded by the sound of God, it is enough to destroy the last line of defense in a person's heart without attacking and directly kill it. In an instant, this space was completely shattered, and countless cracks, large and small, emerged, and the entire demon suppression prison was completely collapsed at this very moment. Let's go! Seeing such a shocking Sanskrit sound, Liu Yun, with the last bit of strength, slowly sent Xiaoyan and others away from here, and under the leadership of the Black Dragon Wolf, they faced the Demon Emperor's seal. And go! Clang clang! A mighty collision of sacred energy suddenly exploded in this void, and an extremely sacred and hot flame swept out. Wang buzzing. After roaring for a while, the sacred flame generated by the self-destructing angel's wings was directly expelled by the four-winged angel, and thus injected into Liu Yun's body. Condensed. Looking at this scene, Liu Yun's slack eyes were full of doubts. With that blow just now, she was bound to die. But why did this four-winged angel give her the power of self-destruction back to herself? Liu Yun doesn't believe she has that kindness since you've been in a demon. It's useful to keep you. Otherwise you would have been submerged under the pressure of my angel. Let's go, it's time to go back. He whispered softly, and suddenly the four-winged angel waved his hand. A cage on his body, completely shrouded Liu Yun and imprisoned her, gently led her, broke through the demon suppression prison, and cut through the void. Yes, go to Douyin continent. It seems that there is no anger towards the demon of light desperately trying to let Xiaoyan and the others go. Instead, there is a hidden smile. However, before leaving, the four-winged angel was facing the direction of Yaoyuan Dongtian, and in a voice that could only be heard by himself, he said softly, "Demon Emperor, this time, I won. See you next time, maybe you will become a plaything in my hands." The Sanskrit sound echoed for a long time, causing the entire ancient battlefield to be filled with extremely rare fluctuations. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. Continuing from the previous episode 1933. The latest website, boom. Deafening voices continued to sound in the ancient battlefield. Immediately, whether it was the 3 powerhouses or the remaining 6 demon kings, they could clearly sense the terrifying aura. That's the direction of the evil cage town of water and fire. At this time, in a quiet battlefield forest, barren land and rickety trees filled the place, and several figures appeared here one after another. There was an unmistakable terrifying pressure on his body. That kind of aura is arrogant and arrogant like an innate superior person, but its strength should not be underestimated. The demon suppression prison has been broken. I am afraid that the 2 white kings imprisoned in it have also been successfully broken. Wait, is there a breath of light? For a time, a woman with crane hair twisted her enchanting body. Every stroke would bring a touch of terrifying power, and her beautiful eyes slowly stared at it. "The location of the demonic prison in the demonic cage of water and fire," he said vigilantly. "Even though both of them are both of the light attribute aura, the power emanating from the demon suppression prison is far more tyrannical than himself." "What's the matter?" The first man frowned and his face darkened. "Bone Demon King. Even with his power, when he smelled this bright breath, bursts of palpitating power swept out uncontrollably. It's not that the White Bone Demon King is afraid of this bright aura, but he is surprised. How can there be such a level of powerhouse in the demon world? That is clearly the power aura of the Holy Sea Angel. It seems that some extraordinary guys have also poured into the demon world." At this moment, the White Bone Demon King sneered with interest, and the madness in his voice was hard to contain. "Holy Sea Angel, waiting for him to rule the demon world, there is always a chance to go to the meeting. By the way, what's the current situation of the Black Demon Dragon Wolf?" After a while, the White Bone Demon King said coldly, "I don't know. I found his breath in the demon-suppressing prison before, but now his breath seems to be beyond the range I can sense. It's very strange." Liu Yun curled up. "The place is now calm, but with these few the strength of the top powerhouses, this time on the ancient battlefield, I am afraid they are the biggest winners, but I don't know what they are waiting for, and they are reluctant to take action." On the other side, at Tianshang Tyrant. This is a relatively narrow cave. There are only 2 people in the cave, but both of them are full of demonic energy without exception. "Lord, the Blood Demon King has fallen." Not long after, one of the monster beast men whose body was wrapped in blood-colored scales spoke first, and there was an extremely rare shock in his voice. "The Blood Demon King is the strongest in their army, and the strength of the 8-star Do Xian in the late stage has almost gone sideways in the demon world today. How could it have fallen?" "What?" Hearing what the monster said, the man above the first snorted coldly, and a circle of invisible green monsters swept in with a heavy aura like a mountain. "Lord, calm your anger. In my opinion, this matter is probably related to the bright aura in the demon suppression prison today. Looking at the entire Daqin world, there are very few powerhouses with a bright breath, and almost most powerhouses have been subdued by the Holy Sea, so the fall of the Blood Demon King, I am afraid." The Bloodscale Sage spoke slightly, for the Sky Tyrant Bear analyzed. "Bloodscale Sage. This is a monster famous for his wisdom. His whole life is mainly about arranging troops. Although his strength is only in the middle stage of 8-star fighting immortals, he is highly regarded by Tianshang Tyrant. Tianshang Tyrant was originally just a warrior. He suffered a lot of setbacks before encountering the Bloodscale Sage. He was rescued by the Bloodscale Sage several times in the water and fire. He immediately spared all the medicinal resources to force this guy who was not good at cultivation. In the middle stage of the 8 stars fighting immortals, and in addition to the blessings that Tianshang Tyrant did not know from there, the Bloodscale Sage was able to help him wholeheartedly. With the help of the Bloodscale Sages, Tianshang Tyrant's Monster Beast Legion and the forces behind him have also increased significantly. Now the figure of the Black Devil Dragon Wolf is unknown, and the battle situation on the ancient battlefield is at stake. How do you think this is good? The fluff on Tianshang Tyrant's body was blowing, and he slowly muttered, a fear of depression spread out. Tyrant Tianshang knows that at this time, only by asking his opinion can he formulate each next step, and if he takes a wrong step, the consequences may be disastrous. "Sir," Xu Xiao dared to say something. "According to the news I got now, one of the 7 demon kings has perished. Although I don't know who did it, this is a good thing for us." The Bloodscale Sage continued, "How do you say this?" Tianshang Tyrant frowned and asked. "Originally, our 2 forces were like fire and water, but our 2 armies fought just to force the seal of the Demon Emperor out, so as to collect some useful things from there. Now that the battle situation has changed, the whereabouts of the Black Fiend Dragon and Wolf are unknown, and in addition to the fact that the fiendish King of White Bones is not moving. We might as well take the opportunity to send troops to quell the remaining 6 Demon Kings and incorporate their power, so that we are qualified to fight against the fiendish King of White Bones." After all, the power of the remaining 6 Demon Kings, if we can use them all, is also a powerful force. The Bloodscale Sage analyzed, but even so, the reincarnation powerhouses behind the White Bone Demon King are far more than us, and then there are the Black Demon Dragon Wolf's army that is eyeing At this moment, Tianshang Tyrant was also puzzled, and he didn't know for a while how to be good. Lord, you must stop it, and you will suffer the chaos. The Black Devil Dragon Wolf Army has no backbone, and it is not as good as us in terms of combat power, so there is nothing to be afraid of. As for reincarnation, we don't have it. Do you think so? After the Bloodscale Sage finished speaking, he smiled strangely. Okay, it's all as you say. Quote. The orders were issued in an orderly manner, and at this moment, the entire pattern of the demon world was also cleaned up by the Tianshang Tyrant. There is actually an angel? It's really a miscalculation. On the far side, Shu Xiao's gloomy body, accompanied by the evil light of the evil bone, went directly to the deeper part of the wild and desolate demon realm, but within his body, there was a piece of evil awe-inspiring. The crystal block has absorbed countless evil powers, and the power contained in it is probably comparable to reincarnation. There is a looming grand palace. The palace is full of countless awe-inspiring sacred energy. Those forces only completely lock this space, so that no one can step into it. And here, in the ancient battlefield, the seal of the Red King. The 6th town demon prison, codenamed Dark Knight. There are a large number of demon suppression prisons, but without exception, among the top 6 demon suppressing prisons, all sealed are the true kings of the alien races. Red King. At this moment, a larger conspiracy is slowly brewing. If no one stands up, I am afraid that this time the demon world will face an unprecedented disaster. The 2 White Kings may not be something to be afraid of, but the strength of the Red King is definitely not something that a few demon world powerhouses who have just stepped into reincarnation can handle. Because this Red King has truly passed through the realm of reincarnation and evil calamity. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. Continuing from the previous episode 1934. The latest website, woohoo! At this moment, with the earth-shaking changes taking place in the demon world, Xiao Yan, the Heisha Longwolf and the 10,000 Demon King, under the cover of the Demon of Light, directly entered the space-time wormhole. Among them, a long-distance space shuttle is carried out, heading towards the Demon Fate Cave. And the 4-winged angel had already returned to the Holy See of Doyan Continent with the Demon of Light. Even though she knew that the 2 White Kings and some wicked people were trying to rescue the only Red King here, she did not move. The survival and destruction of the demon world has nothing to do with him, not to mention that he deliberately let Xiao Yan and others go, and he has a huge bargaining chip in his hand. Whether the Demon Emperor can break the seal and overcome the wrath of the Red King. These are the tests left by the 4-winged angel to the Demon Emperor. If he can't even pass these, then the so-called overlord of the demon world has no relationship with himself. Eligibility for a head-to-head contest. As for why the 4-winged angel planned this, I am afraid it is unknown, but for a strong person of her level, I am afraid it has something to do with the so-called kingdom of angels, but I don't know whether she is digging her own grave or reigning her own. The path of angels serves as a foreshadowing. In the past, the first battle of heaven and earth attacked the other 6 worlds, and at the same time defeated the ancient emperors of countless foreign evil races. Isn't the Demon Emperor comparable to the 4 wings? In the dark void, countless ferocious time cracks are squirming like worms. Once swallowed by them, the consequences may be. At this time, in the dark space-time wormhole, a flame barrier protected a few people, and they hurried on their way, seeming to be heading towards some mysterious place. I'm sorry for the hostess. After a while, Heishan Longwing was the first to speak, and just after he finished speaking, a tear the size of a bean grain dripped uncontrollably from his dragon's eye. Heisha Longling was originally just an unknown person in the demon world. Later, after being rescued by the Demon Emperor and the Demon of Light, he was reborn. Later, he showed a strong talent for cultivation and was entrusted by the Demon Emperor. It is his loyal subordinate. Don't say that. I have a premonition that the Demon of Light will not fall easily, just because of the obsession in her heart. And I always feel that something is wrong with that 4-winged angel. It seems that he is deliberately provoking and letting us go. Xiao Yan murmured, stroking the sleepy flame beast in his hand, wondering. The flaming beast's aura is extremely unstable now, like an active volcano. It is always facing the traces of eruption, and that kind of terrifying power, even Xiao Yan can't suppress it. Furthermore, by virtue of Xiao Yan's perception power, he discovered something was wrong with the 4-winged angel, because with the strength of his reincarnation to survive the reincarnation calamity, and the power of an angel, it was easy to obliterate a few of them, but in the end he was blinded by light. The demon was rescued, and all of this was obviously a bit too unbelievable. Forget it, my lord. Let's not think about these things for the time being. Now the demon world is in chaos. Without you in charge of the overall situation, our army will definitely face collapse, and the other two strong men have coveted the lands sealed by the Lord for a long time. With your disappearance, they will probably take action, and the other two, the whereabouts of King White, are unknown, and I am afraid that the situation is extremely urgent now. So now, whether it's for personal consideration or for the sake of the overall situation of the demon world, our top priority is to help the demon emperor break the seal. Other things, I'm afraid we can only discuss it in the long run. Wan Yaowing also said softly, obviously the current situation is not optimistic, let's break through the road directly. Wan Yao is right, I have to cheer up, otherwise I will betray the trust of the master and the mistress. I'll take you to Yao Yuan Cave. There is the master's seal place. Whether it can be successful this time is up to brother Xiao Yan. After Shun Qi, Heishan Longling was also transformed into a middle-aged man, with a heavy aura all over his body. At this time, he couldn't care about the scars on his body, and he was only thinking about how to solve the current chaos in the demon world. Okay. Xiao Yan nodded lightly, and there was a hint of deepness in his eyes. Now the situation of the demon world can only be pinned on the legendary demon emperor. If this trip fails, I am afraid that the fate of all of them will become important wanted figures in the demon world. In the dark void, a boundless crack in time appeared, and it was not known how long it took. Xiao Yan and the others suddenly sank, and the surrounding forces suddenly became dignified. This is an independent space. The whole space is like a huge lair. There is no power in it, like a land of no one. Are you there? In an instant, Xiao Yan looked at the strange space in front of him and spoke softly. However, there is one thing that makes Xiao Yan extremely strange. There seems to be only a mass of undetectable power in the space here, but that mass of power contains a spooky black air, an ethereal Sanskrit sound that can purify the soul, and a touch that erodes people's hearts. Magic. 3 powers. 3 kinds of power came one after another, slowly and completely caged this mysterious void, and inside it, there seemed to be a weak life. No matter how tyrannical these 3 powers were, they never went out. This is the most mysterious cave in the demon world. There is an extraordinary mystery in the demon fate cave. Only the strong with coordinates can find it, and even with the strength of my peak period, I can't break in. This is the master's fief. After the breath, a wave that was extremely difficult to calm flickered in the eyes of the black dragon wolf, and he spoke slowly. As expected of the most mysterious place in the demon world. Xiao Yan smiled lightly. The eerie ghost Qi Xiao Yan had already seen its horror, but Xiao Yan had never touched the other 2 auras. Go! With an order, several people left the space-time crack directly and entered the edge of the Yao Yuan cave. The edge here is quite soft, and they are in a land of aurora, and the light beam under their feet carries Li Weiman's strong sealing power, which makes them extremely uncomfortable. Dragon Wolf, you're here. After the breath, a rather light voice slowly poured out from the land of aurora. The sound was as pleasing to the eye as a lark, but it was impossible to tell where it came from. Master, I brought the human you needed, but... The Heisha dragon wolf stood upright with great respect, and immediately lowered his head slightly in the dragon's eyes, feeling extremely guilty. Other things, I'll talk about it after I break the seal. Little guy, I feel a lot of familiar auras from your body. Fenju, the blood of the Xiao family. It's really a good reincarnation of heaven. Suddenly, the entire void outside the cave shook violently, and scenes of domineering aura that surpassed the heaven and earth slowly overflowed. That kind of aura, enough contempt of all things, truly contempt for heaven and earth. Wang Om! When this breath swept out, 3 forces of ghost energy, Buddha's light, and demonic energy vented out, suppressing this shocking situation. Next, let's start the real drama. Xiao Yan finished speaking, his eyes became deep again, and amber holy flames lingered out of his body. For a time, the space here suddenly became quiet, and even the 3 forces surrounded him. The mysterious imprisoning power also slowly exudes a look of waiting. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis.